Ex-Navy officers have been convicted in Qatar. Death sentence for 8 Indian officers is what we're learning. Now, amid the Israel-Hamas war, Qatar charges ex-Navy officers of spying. So that's the big development that is coming in. So verdict in the case of 8 Indians detained in Qatar. So the latest is that they have been convicted. I do understand my colleague Shreya is joining me over the phone line. Shreya, this is, of course, big news that's coming in, but can you give us more details?
Absolutely. What has come as a bit of a shock, a rude shock for India, and that shock is being reflected in the press release that has been put out by the Ministry of External Affairs. Of course, the Indian government will now contest this death penalty that has been given by a Qatari court to 8 former naval officers. Now, these naval officers were working in Qatar with a private limited firm, and the charge against them is that they were actually spying for Israel. That is the charge. Now, look at the timing of the death sentence that has been handed out. Bang in the middle of a crisis in the Middle East where the Hamas and Israel are at war. Now, these veterans, Navy veterans, as I said, were working for a private firm in Qatar. They have been in jail for over a year. India has had consular access to them. India has tried to secure their release. But Qatar has told Indian diplomats over and over again that they have enough and more evidence that these 8 individuals were indeed spying for Israel. Post which there was a trial that took place in Israel, and now this death penalty has been handed out. As I said, of course, it will be challenged by India. And India and sources within the Indian diplomatic community telling us that India is already working to see how it can be challenged and what are the legal provisions that need to be made as far as fighting this case in Qatar is concerned. Now, just to tell you that these employees that we are talking about, these Indians that we are talking about, ex-naval officers, were senior employees of the Dahra Global Technologies and Consulting Services, which was a company advising on a Qatari program that was aimed to obtain high-end Italian-made submarines that could evade radar detection. Now, there are many Indian nationals who are working in this company, and there has been some talk for some time now that this company, Qatar, is planning to shut this company down, and there were as many as 75 Indian nationals who were working there, majority of them former Indian Navy personnel, that they have been asked to go. For the moment, as I said, a big setback for India that has been trying to secure the release of these 8 Indian veterans. For the moment, a setback, but India will contest this death penalty.